What if technology and financial tools designed to make life better are reshaping our relationships in unexpected ways? Welcome to African Folk Tales. Today, 27-year-old African teacher, wife, and mom of two, Mrs. Gloria, explores this question through the story of the remote control and the credit card. Join her and her students as they delve into a fascinating tale of love, respect, and compromise in the modern age. With a warm smile, Mrs. Gloria began her tale.
It was a sunny Saturday afternoon when Ama embarked on a shopping spree. As she reached for her wallet at the cash counter, the cashier, Ajoa, spotted something unexpected peeking out of her purse, a TV remote control. Ajoa's curiosity got the better of her, and she asked with a chuckle,
"Do you always carry your TV remote with you, Ama?"
"Not always, but my husband, Kwame, refused to accompany me shopping today because of a football match, so I took the remote."
Ajoa laughed, Mrs. Gloria narrated, and Ama joined in, enjoying the small victory. However,
when Ajoa started returning all the items Ama had purchased, she was shocked. "What are you doing?" Ama demanded. Ajoa, chuckling, said,
"Your husband has blocked your credit card."
As Mrs. Gloria continued the story, a student named Kofi's curiosity got the better of him. He raised his hand, and Mrs. Gloria nodded for him to ask his question.
"Mrs. Gloria, you mentioned a credit card. How does it work, and how is it different from a debit card?"
Kofi asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. Mrs. Gloria smiled, pleased with Kofi's engagement.
"Excellent question, Kofi. A credit card allows you to borrow money up to a certain limit to make purchases or withdraw cash. You pay back the borrowed amount later, often with interest. A debit card, on the other hand, is linked directly to your bank account. When you use it, the money is taken straight from your account."
With Kofi's question answered, Mrs. Gloria returned to the story.
Ama, ever resourceful, took out Kwame's credit card from her purse and swiped it. Fortunately for her, he hadn't blocked his own card. But just as she thought she had won, the machine indicated, "Enter the PIN sent to your mobile phone." Mrs. Gloria paused for dramatic effect, leaving her students wondering what would happen next. Ama, ever resourceful, took out Kwame's credit card from her purse and swiped it. Paused for effect. Ama, mischievously, said, "Looks like I have another trick up my sleeve." Ama's eyes sparkled with mischief.
Mrs. Gloria explained, as she reached into her purse and pulled out Kwame's phone.
She had taken it along with the remote so he couldn't call her during her shopping spree. She entered the PIN and completed her purchase, then happily returned home.
Mrs. Gloria continued, upon arriving home, Ama noticed Kwame's car was gone. A note was pasted on the door, couldn't find the remote. Gone out with the boys to watch the match. Will be home late. Call me on my phone if you need something. Ama sighed, Mrs. Gloria said, realizing Kwame had also taken the house key, leaving her locked out. Determined not to be outdone, she called a locksmith to let her in and decided to enjoy a relaxing evening with a glass of wine, knowing her husband would come home to a quiet, locked house. Mrs. Gloria smiled. When Kwame finally returned, he found the door unlocked and Ama smiling serenely on the couch.
"Welcome back," Ama greeted him. "I hope you enjoyed the game." Kwame, grinning, responded,
"You know, maybe watching the game with you wouldn't have been so bad after all."
"And maybe shopping with you could be fun if you don't complain the entire time," Ama added, laughing.
They both chuckled, Mrs. Gloria said, realizing how their little game had shown them the importance of spending time together and supporting each other's interests. Intrigued by their newfound understanding, the following weekend, Kwame suggested, "Let's go shopping together in the morning, and in the afternoon, we'll watch the football match. I promise not to grumble about the shopping trip." Ama agreed, saying,
"Learn a bit about the game and cheer along."
Mrs. Gloria continued,
To their surprise, they found that they enjoyed each other's company even more when they were willing to compromise. Kwame discovered he had an eye for picking out good deals, much to Ama's delight. She, on the other hand, found herself getting caught up in the excitement of the match, even cheering for his favorite team. Their days became filled with new experiences, from attending football games together to visiting the latest shopping malls. They even started exploring each other's hobbies more deeply, discovering new activities they could enjoy as a couple.
One evening, while reminiscing about their journey, Ama said,
Kwame replied, and blocking the credit card wasn't too bad either.
They both laughed. Mrs. Gloria concluded,
knowing that their playful antics had strengthened their bond. They had learned that while their interests might differ, their love for each other was the common ground they could always stand on. From that day forward, they made a promise to always find ways to support and participate in each other's hobbies, knowing that these small efforts made their relationship richer and more fulfilling. Mrs. Gloria smiled warmly. Years later, they would tell the story to their children and grandchildren, not just as a funny anecdote, but as a lesson in love, respect, and the importance of compromise in a relationship. And every time they did, they would smile, remembering the game of one-upmanship that brought them closer together.
And so, my dear students, Mrs. Gloria said,
this is how Ama and Kwame found a way to balance their different interests without fighting. Does anyone have any other questions?
Edisi, with her gentle voice, asked,
Can you tell us another story like this one?
Absolutely, Edisi. Mrs. Gloria responded enthusiastically. Stay tuned for more tales that blend modern life with timeless lessons. Until next time, keep learning and growing. Mrs. Gloria wrapped up. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest stories. See you next time on our African Folk Tales YouTube channel.